All right, my Bible in 365 brothers and sisters, this is exciting stuff because yet again, we are embarking upon the book of Exodus. Now, I want to remind you guys, because it is very important, that if you want the traditional summary that I have provided of the book of Exodus, you can go to the one that I did last year. I actually teach through the whole Bible in summary format for Bible in 365 exclusively, and you can go back and get that on the app or on the Bible in 365 YouTube page. And of course, as a normal reminder, you can go to jamescadice.com or the Calvary Chapel Signal Hill YouTube and pull any Bible study I have taught on any chapter or verse in the Bible. In many cases, multiple generations of those teachings are there, and there are thousands of them. Now, with that in mind, the book of Exodus is amazing. Now, Exodus chronicles a lot of things for us, right? It chronicles things like the 10 Commandments. It chronicles for us a lot of things in politics that we might not completely understand or realize came from the Lord himself, especially within the nation in which we live. And it also chronicles a whole lot of things as it relates to the movement of the nation of Israel and the call of God given to Moses to do exactly what he did. Now, there's a couple of things I'm going to give you homework with that I want you to look at. The first thing I want you to look at is how God called Moses to do the work that Moses did. Now, I'm going to make a statement, and I think this is very important. God does not use people who are not broken. Okay, let me say that again. God uses broken people and oftentimes requires brokenness in order to use them effectively. This is why when you see people who are being used by God, they have oftentimes been through significant things in their lives that have contributed to a lot of difficulty. And when you learn the story of Moses, who was this mega mighty man who was raised up in the courts of Pharaoh, when he recognizes the call of God on his life, he thinks he can handle it himself, and he ends up killing another Egyptian and then runs in fear of his life because of what he actually did, only to be out in the desert for 40 years and to be humbled by God when God appears to him in a burning bush and says, hey, you need to go back and minister to my people. And if you remember his response, he responded with the stutter. He told the Lord he didn't even know how to talk. He was that humbled by God, and it was that humility and brokenness that made him perhaps one of the most powerful leaders ever written about or heard of in the history of the nation of Israel. By the way, it is very important to note that Moses would have likely been the one that wrote the very book that we are reading. And so I want you to look into how God calls a person through an extended study of Moses' life as expressed in the book of Exodus. The other thing that I would really like you to do is take a closer look at the 10 Commandments, because that's going to be very, very important. And of course, the other thing that I really, really want you to take some time and really consider and look over is what happens when we choose to take a venture of faith in what God asks us to do, even when it doesn't make sense. Because what God did through the nation of Israel and through Moses' obedience to him in saving that people from slavery is absolutely remarkable. Now, here's a reminder. We have another Q&A this month where we're going to be able to talk about all of that. There are so many themes in the book of Exodus that we can discuss that are absolutely amazing. Make sure you get your questions ready. I cannot wait for the Q&A that's coming up. I believe it's the third Friday of the month of February. And if you are watching this afterwards, it is always going to be there for you to refer to. Looking forward to it. Really blessed that you guys are studying the Bible with us. You are incredibly amazing. And folks, I cannot tell you enough how much I love you and how blessed I am to be serving you. I know that I speak for Charlie and Erica Kirk when I say this. What an honor it is to be in a position where I get to bring the word of God to you and equip you in the best way I know how. So just a reminder, you can get all of my extended teachings through any of these chapters or verses or studies, all on jamescadice.com, calvarychapelsignalhill.com. You can go to the Calvary Chapel Signal Hill YouTube page. It's all over the place. We even have an app you can pull, and we want to equip you guys. All right? We love you. God bless you.